Hello, everybody. Meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Coming up, we're going to have an update on thunderstorms that continue along the international border. We have a flash flood warning to let you know about, and we'll have an update on your forecast as well as some photos that you have shared of today's wild weather events, some heat and humidity as well spreading throughout the valley, your forecast, and look ahead
Now, a Hutch's weather update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson, brought to you by Robert Gibb and Sons.
All right, we're going to jump right in and talk a little bit about what we have going on across the region. There is a green box. We're highlighting that. That is a flash flood warning. That is up near the Pembina Gorge where we have some rain showers just being very persistent from Langdon and points south and west all the way out towards areas of Ulsan and Loma and heading up all the way up toward the Walhalla area, although Walhalla itself not in that particular flash flood warning. The details on the flash flood warning are as follows. It's in effect until 6 o'clock tonight. A lot of rain has fallen in this area. Let's take a look at storm total precipitation estimates from the Doppler radar. This can really help us to see as far as how much rain may have fallen in between rain gauges. And I do have a look as well as what we have going on with regards to measured rainfall as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at that as we, whoopsies, pardon me. Okay, here we go. So now let's take a look at the measured rainfall first, and this is a look from my friends at the North Dakota Agricultural Weather Network. Overnight, we had storms that fired up in Lake Sakakawea, and the numbers may be a little difficult to read, but 3.22 inches of rain out there on the southern shores of Lake Sakakawea. The heavy band of rain pushed north. Look at this, over 2 inches of rain in parts of the Benson County area, north of the Maddock area, and in towards the Devil's Lake Basin. Now, we did see some of those rain showers be persistent up not far from Walhalla and Langdon, and estimates there, not estimates, measurements from the end-on sites there showing that we have some very significant rainfall that has fallen in those parts for today. Now a look at the radar estimates of Doppler radar. So to do that, let's take a look at the storm total precipitation estimates and go. Now these colors here are representative of how much rain the radar estimates has fallen. A lot of things can skew these views of rainfall across the area as well. And one of the things that can skew it is hail, but we haven't had a lot of hail here. The other thing that can skew it is, well, these scans tend to be a long ways away from the radar site out here near Langdon. So that can cause what actually makes it down into your rain gauge to be different than what the radar is seeing aloft above your head. So here we go. The blue streak you see from near Langdon and right up to north of Walhalla here is an estimated area that saw over 3 inches of rain in spots. Now, not everybody along this track saw 3 inches, but it was possible that the radar detected amounts that would correlate with something close to 2.5 to 3 inches of rain. Edmore, 1.5, Adams, 2.1, Park River, 1.7, Drayton, 1.2 inches. Some heavy rain showers here in the purple drifted through the Grafton area, so much of Walsh County, particularly the western half here where we see the white colors. So if you're in Park River, you probably got a little bit more than the estimated rain in Grafton at 1.5. Get over into the pink and the whites over here, and we've got some 2-inch estimates that includes Park River, Lankin, as well as Adams there in the western Walsh County reaches. Now, just north of Grand Forks, look at this. What a cutoff indeed. Emerado, a heavy band moved through there, but there's Grand Forks, East Grand Forks, and barely anything out towards Fisher picked up by the Doppler radar. And you get up north near Alvarado, and the estimates rise up very quickly to 1.3 inches of rain. So the heavy rain falling along the northern tier, very little to nothing here in the southern Red River Valley, Fargo, Moorhead. We've got nothing. Now, let's take a look at temperatures out there. It's hot and muggy along this boundary, but we are seeing some of that heat spread up into Grand Forks because you didn't get the heavy rain. The clouds slowed your heating down. Let's take a look at those temperatures, shall we? Right now, we have temperatures that are soaring down in the Southern Valley, and in Grand Forks and Fargo, we have a temperature right now of 88 degrees. Grand Forks, because of the lack of rain, wow, 86 for you, 88 Crookston. Looking off into the Boston area, 84 degrees. Detroit Lakes, Fergus Falls, Wadena, all in the mid-80s right now, and it's 90 degrees for you at the Chahinkapazoo out there in the Wahpeton Breckenridge area. It's a hot one indeed. So the heat is on. Scattered showers and rain really keeping things at bay with only 60s and 70s there. That is nearly, well, it's a 25-degree difference between there and Wahpeton. So from Walhalla to Wahpeton, There's a 25-degree difference in temperatures. The heat is on Bismarck, 82, but it's 68 in the Minot area right now, and it is sticky. With a look at those dew point temperatures now, whoo, it is muggerific. Now let's take a look at some of these values where we see this little green-blue shade right here, the bright green. Jamestown, dew points near 70. This is air you can wear. The Gulf Coast is open for business, and this moisture is working its way into the northern plains. Mid to upper 60s in Fargo, in Grand Forks, and in Devil's Lake. It's 67 degrees for a dew point temperature, but your air temperatures are just a little bit warmer than that. Not much though. 63 now, your dew point temperature in Bismarck. So it's very humid and sticky air out there, and we have more storms that are in your forecast. Now, I'm going to go over here and take a look for your questions, and we're going to take a quick look at your details on the latest radar. And to do that, we want to pull up that radar view and show you that we do still have some showers, thunderstorms, and lightning developing across the area. They're moving up into parts near Winnipeg and southern Manitoba. And look at International Falls, some showers moving out of the Rainy Lake area, heading off to the Arrowhead of Minnesota. Here's the heaviest rain though. Pembina, you're about to get it. We do have this backward C shape, which could indicate some gusty winds. Environment Canada has warnings for all of these storms up there, but they have a different threshold for the definition of severe compared to here the lower 48 and in the United States. As a matter of fact, these storms here, non-severe. You do see some hailers up here, not far from you folks, just north of the border there. So north of Netchie, we definitely have some hail cores making their way through, and those extend all the way out towards the northern reaches of Lake of the Woods and south of Lake Winnipeg. Newtown, a few showers are moving in towards Minot right now. So if you're watching from the Minot zone, hello, thanks for watching. Drop me a note. Let me know what you're seeing from these showers of rain showing up on the radar here. These are forming in an air mass that is significantly cooler and not as unstable. So I don't anticipate anything in the way of severe weather there tonight. Speaking of which, let's take a look at the Storm Prediction Center's update for severe weather tonight. Across our area. And look at this. It's been moved just a little bit. The yellow area here is a slight risk of severe thunderstorms. It does include Devil's Lake all the way out to Rugby. The Turtle Lake area is not in it, but Harvey is. McCluskey is in Sheridan County. And Wing in northern parts of Burleigh County is in this area of, well, yellow here where we have that slight risk. The green area here, that means a couple of storms may flirt with severe criteria. So there's a slight risk of severe storms in Bismarck. Mandan, not as much, if you believe that. And we do have storms that could potentially reach severe levels thanks to the huge amounts of humidity and heat in the atmosphere here along the I-94 corridor. It does swing down for you folks down there in Lemoore County, Edgeley, on up in towards Lisbon as well. This goes towards Ada and Baudette. So that's where the best chance at a few strong to severe thunderstorms will persist tonight as we go through the evening hours. Now I want to show you the modeled data because this is changing run to run, and to do that, let's take a look at that. We'll load that up right now and show the satellite and radar. Now, while this is loading up, and I'll switch the clock over so it will not show you the current time, but the modeled time as this is loading. Now, here's what we need to know. As we head into the afternoon hours right now, we do have showers that are moving through Winnipeg across Lake of the Woods, and these are very heavy rainers. They are very good and efficient rain producers as we go through the evening hours. Look, it just stays. It just continues to develop and pour in the same areas. We got Buckus down here, just not a whole lot of nothing, hot, humid air. This is through 5 in the morning. So this model says, yep, the best chance of showers and thunderstorms on this particular model remains north of Highway 2. This is a trend we saw earlier. Let's look at one other model here. We'll look at a North American model. This is also a high resolution model. You know what? In my opinion, the North American model has had a little bit more difficulty in forecasting stuff. It tends to overblow some stuff. But what we're looking at here is to see if the consensus of the couple models that we look at has a similar solution, not necessarily an exact same solution. So as this one's loading up, I will tell you this model has, you know, at times overblown some of the weather situations. But if we see that this one also keeps most of the thunderstorm chances up north, it gives us just a little bit of an idea that those chances will be best. Even though we are hot, as the Dickens here in the Fargo area, and temperatures are at 90 here near the asphalt of my car's thermometer. I don't know about yours, heading through the afternoon hours. So taking a look at this model, let's show you the difference. This one has showers and thunderstorms, Devil's Lake Basin, where we're seeing them now. And as we drift into the evening hours here, and we'll push this out towards dinner time, and it has an explosion of thunderstorm activity in the northern Red River Valley, northeast North Dakota, northwest Minnesota, heading east at a pretty good clip. Notice that it does have a little bit of a hiccup or a hitch in the giddy up pushing into the Fargo area. So this model says, we can't rule it out, right? So there could be a thunderstorm that forms in this hot, humid air. And if it does, folks, the chance of severe is there because it's so hot and so humid. There's enough energy in the atmosphere to drive the system to produce large hail, gusty winds, and there is some spin in the atmosphere tonight as well. We'll get to that momentarily. Right now, look at the storms just persistent, one after the other, all the way through the overnight hours. Some areas up north could see some red donkey donk values of rainfall as this finally lets up by tomorrow morning, not to be outdone by a few more showers in northern Minnesota for the afternoon tomorrow. But as you can see, fairly widespread, or excuse me, fairly isolated in nature compared to the gully washers we're seeing now, causing the flood warning. Now, with respect to this model, let's take a look at what it is forecasting for rainfall amounts. So see here, this model won't let me do it. So I'm going to go back to this model, and I'm going to go to the most recent one, and I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go all the way out as far as we can go, 18 hours, and I'm going to look for some rainfall, total precipitation. Load me up before you go. All right, this particular model, high resolution, rapid updating, showing most of the rain along the northern border. Rugby, Cando, Langdon, Walhalla, all the way up into the Pembina Gorge and Cavalier, the Netchie area, all of you. Where you see the bright pinks here, what do these colors mean? Again, don't staple the number that you're seeing in your town as the forecast for rain. This is model guidance, and what Hutch can tell you is that the 2.4 to 5 inches of rain that this model is showing may or may not fall in Rugby. It may be a little bit to either way, but the potential is there for an additional, from now through the overnight hours and until 8 a.m. on Tuesday, an additional 2.5 inches of rain in some of these spots. So keep that in mind. Many of us will have several tenths of an inch in the Northern Valley and up to around 2+ inches of rain. This one has some spots with another 3.5 inches of rain near Rugby. So we've already gotten a lot of rain in that particular area. Let's see if there's another model that will give us an idea. Let's go to a high-res model here. Let me see if I can pull up the there it is, total precipitation. But I'm going to go out. This is, again, going out 18 to 24 hours. So let's go out 24 hours, and here it is. So it, too, is highlighting the northern Red River Valley, Kitson County, Roseau County. It does have some in Fargo. That means there is a chance, but not everybody's going to see 1/4 of an inch. So hit and miss showers down here. Many of us getting rainfall measured in tenths of an inch. But up north, Devil's Lake into northwest Minnesota, some on the order of 1 to 3 inches of rainfall still on tap from this system. Okay, folks, that is a look at your forecast. That's a look at what's going on right now. It is hot. It is muggy. And the storms tonight could be severe. Now, I promised a little look at the percentage chance of possible tornadoes tonight. Now, there's been a lot of talk online about really strong tornadoes. Look, it is hot and it is humid, and there is some spin in the atmosphere, and we'll show you a look at where that is lighting up. But right now, this is a look at the Storm Prediction Center's forecast, and the Storm Prediction Center says there's that slight risk. That means a few storms with large hail and gusty straight line winds in the areas impacted. And as we've seen on a couple of models, 2 and 3 models are showing that the Northern Valley north of, say, Highway 2 will have the best chance at this activity. Let's see. Now, this wasn't working earlier, but I'm going to give it a try again and see if we can see the risk for any tornadoes in our area. So the probability of a tornado in this green area is 2%. So that's what this highlighted area means. So we do have a 2% chance of a tornado. Does that mean we're going to see multiple tornadoes in this area? That's not the point with this. It does means that we do have a chance, a 2% chance that within 30 miles of any point on this map, within about 30 miles of it, you could see a tornado tonight. It doesn't tell us how strong the tornado might be. It doesn't tell us any of that. It just tells us we have a chance for some stout thunderstorms tonight that could produce hail, wind, and we cannot rule out tornadoes. So here's a look at that National Composite Radar. One more time as we wrap this up. We do have showers. We have the flash flood warning that's in effect until 6 o'clock for you folks up there in the Langdon area. As we look at the regional picture, more showers of just garden variety rain out in the Minot area. Now, as we do this, I'm going to pull up your questions over here. So let me do that right now and see. Hey, Hutch, do you think Grand Forks will see any thunderstorm activity, specifically severe? Kyle, great question. You saw the models. Grand Forks has a better chance than Fargo does based on the models keeping everything up there. And the fact that you do have temperatures in the 80s would lend me to believe that there is a better chance there. So yes, Grand Forks and points north, a better chance. Watching from Moorhead, Shirley, sure good to have you and Kathy on. Nathan, thanks for joining me here on Hutch's Weather. All right, that's a look at your forecast. We'll keep our eyes on the skies. Any thunderstorms that form today could quickly become severe, particularly along this boundary between the hot and the cold air here, where we have temperatures in the 80s next to temperatures in the 60s. I'll keep you posted right here. And always remember, you can find the very latest in your weather by visiting hutchesweather.com. Check this out. One of the cool features on Hutch's Weather, I'll refresh the page here, is that at the top, if I'm going live, you're going to see that right at the top of the page. And a couple of other things to keep in mind as you scroll through are my sponsors. Keep them in mind should you have any needs whatsoever. My friend Slim at Slim's Tree Care, click on that for information. But, you know, if you have tree damage, if you have anything at all in that area, he services the Fargo Moorhead area, and he is tree risk assessment qualified, so he could tell you if your tree has some things to be concerned about there. He also has 25 years of experience, and as you can see on the video here that's playing, maybe you can't see it. I'll have to move that over just a little bit here. Here it is. There's Slim up there, and he is a climber. He specializes in climbing, and that means he can control the fall of the trees in tight spaces and get the job done. Again, that's Slim's Tree Care. Now, on Hutch's Weather and hutchesweather.com, keep in mind that this radar will keep you ahead of the game. And if you do happen to have any warnings in your area, at the top of the page, if you allow Hutch's website to track your location, it will give you the warning for your area. Also, a neat little trick, hold down the control or your right mouse button, and push your mouse forward. You can tilt and view this from all kinds of different angles here. A real cool feature on Hutch's radar here on hutchesweather.com. And for you, down at the top, up at the top there, we have added a link because it's that time of the year for the fall colors. Just right up here, click on the fall colors icon. You can see the latest detailed maps on the Department of Natural Resources website. And down below, well, if you have a child who is interested in weather, who likes to talk and present and just thinks weather is really cool like Hutch does, well, I'd love to have you sign up to be a Hutch's Weather Kid. And you can upload your photos. And speaking of which, I promised you I would share a few photos. Here we go. These storms have been photogenic for sure. That's to say the least. Now, a little lesson in weather as we wrap this up. This is called a Shelfie McShelferson. It's a shelf cloud. See how it is attached to the parent thunderstorm cloud up here? That makes it a shelf cloud. It's low, it's scooping, and it's caused by the outflow from the thunderstorm. That's a shelf cloud. And Lisa here capturing this in War Road, Minnesota, as that blew right toward the big lake. Now check this out. We got a lot of those pictures, but this is from those storms that are causing the flooding rains. And I want to point this out. Do you see that? That is called a rain foot. It sticks out this way, and sometimes that curls up. This rain, it's a mass of rain and hail that could be falling out of these storms, hits the ground, and it spreads out and causes gusts of wind. And that's the process. And you can see it here by this little rain foot that is pushing out away from the base of that thunderstorm. Casey, thank you so very, very much. This is north of Langdon, where they are battling some significant rainfall out there and some flood warnings and flash flood warnings. So those are what we may call supercell thunderstorms, but they are HP or heavy precipitation producing severe thunderstorms. Again, north of Langdon, more shots. This is another beauty out there with the dark skies, but you can clearly see the rain shaft and that foot that's sticking out, or rain foot. And that's where that density of the cold air rushing out of the storm is pushing. Check this out. This is Mamadas clouds, and oh my goodness, isn't this something? This is Badger this morning and Roseau County. Look at the ominous skies out there. Just an incredible, ominous scene in Badger. Angel, thank you so very, very much for uploading your photos to hutchesweather.com. There's dozens of them. Go visit, go check them out. Let me know which one you like the best. And I got to tell you what, keep them coming, because we even had some northern lights last night and you kept me on top of it. Elizabeth said at Stump Lake, in between the layers of clouds, look what showed up there. All right. Thanks to all of you for sharing your weather reports and your photos with all of us right here on Hutch's Weather and hutchesweather.com. Strong to severe thunderstorms are possible tonight. We do have a little bit of development starting to take place up there along the Polk County line with your neighbors off to the north in the Marshall County area in Minnesota. So a quick look at that before we go. See these little things starting to form right here. That's along that hot air boundary, and this would be in the area. Now, we do have a couple of cells trying to fire here as well in the Red River Valley. So this is some hot, this is some humid air. If these take off, they could become severe. Oh, we do have a storm near the Devil's Lake Basin here that has prompted the National Weather Service to issue a statement on. The blue tells me there's a statement issued on this storm. It's approaching Candu right now. This storm is moving at 38 miles per hour to the north, right toward Candu. So it's moving in the general direction. If you're in Candu, what can you expect right now? That storm is capable of nickel-sized hail and gusts to around 40 miles per hour. So not a severe storm by any definition, but we have that risk for storms becoming severe tonight, and locally heavy rain can be anticipated by this storm. And again, moving in that general direction to the northeast at 38 miles per hour. Hutch will go ahead and track that for you. So here is the hail core. You may see rain before this time, but the hail core moving at this speed will put it in Candu by around 4:06 and Church's Ferry here by around 3:49. So strong storms moving north and developing right now. I'll keep you updated right here, but for now, I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Remember, you can get the latest on weather anytime, no matter where you are. Dial up hutchesweather.com, use the interactive radar, allow it to track your location to stay informed about our potential for severe weather, no matter where you are.